Hello, my name is KHarper. 10 years ago, charting a life course began changing lives. 7 years ago, it changed my life. I didn't find charting a life course at the beginning of my journey. I was introduced to it actually in the middle of it, in the middle of advocating, in the middle of exhaustion, in the middle of loving a child fiercely and not always knowing the next steps. I am the proud mother of five amazing individuals, including my twin boys with autism, born 8 weeks early. And while both of my twins have multiple diagnoses, today I'll focus on one because his story is where the trajectory became real. When my son was 12 months, something shifted. He lost words, he lost eye contact, he stopped reaching for us. And because I was a mom of five, I knew milestones. I knew this wasn't just boys develop late. We entered the world of OT, speech therapy, behavioral pediatrics, IEP meetings. And of course, I did what many parents do when they don't have a roadmap. I gathered information and lots of it. I attended conferences. I even traveled out of state. If there was a seminar, you better believe I was there. If there was a binder, you better believe I owned it. I had so much paperwork, I could have opened a small advocacy library right in the middle of my living room. But information is not the same as direction. We were working very hard, but I couldn't clearly see where we were going. And when you don't have a map, you default to survival mode. And let me tell you, survival mode is exhausting. Then I was introduced to the life trajectory tool, and everything changed. Because for the first time, someone asked me, what does a good life look like? Not what services does he qualify for, not what placement is available, but what is the life we were moving toward? The trajectory does something powerful. It allows you to say, this is the direction we want. And just as clearly, this is not. It moves you from reacting to designing. And let me tell you, that shift, that is where resilience begins. Because trauma keeps you bracing. Design allows you to breathe. Let me show you what that looked like. We tried mainstreaming. We tried integrated classrooms. And when we placed those experiences against his trajectory, we had to be honest. That setting was not moving him toward his good life. At age 12, during a period of intense behaviors, a behavioral psychologist recommended residential placement. And I remember sitting in that room, hearing those words, feeling the weight of it all. Because when professionals say things confidently, rooms seem to get quiet. But the trajectory was clear. Residential was not part of his good life. So instead of reacting emotionally, I responded confidently. I simply said, no, that's not part of his good life. And in that moment, the conversation shifted. Not because I was louder, but because I had clarity. And clarity regulates rooms. Our family goal has always been simple. He belongs in his community. He is not a visitor. He's not a liability, but he is a participant. There was a moment at summer camp. He went down a slide into a pool for the first time. And most people may just see a teenager going down a slide. Well, I saw trajectory alignment. because that moment only happened after we used the trajectory to advocate for extended school year in a recreational setting. It wasn't just about services. It was about belonging. Belonging is not accidental. It is planned. And when families can articulate belonging in structured language, systems begin to respond differently. Fast forward, he's now 20 years old. Our goal has always been to maximize school supports through age 22. But I didn't walk into that meeting hoping. I walked in with a graduation planning portfolio built using Charting a Life course. Trajectory, integrated supports, vision for self-employment, community inclusion, safety planning. It was structured, it was clear, it was aligned. And something fascinating happens when you walk into rooms with structure. Clipboard straight, energy shifts because you are no longer saying, please help. You are saying, here's the direction, let's align resources. That is the difference between advocacy and leadership. Trauma keeps families in three modes: reacting, bracing, surviving. Charting a Life course helped us move to deciding, building, designing. And here's what I want to be clear about. I'm never emotional because it was hard. I'm emotional because it was worth building. Resilience is not pretending things weren't painful. Resilience is having framework that allows pain to be organized into purpose. 7 years ago, I was introduced to a framework. Today, it shapes how I think, how I advocate, how I train professionals, and how I raise my children. Charting a Life course did not eliminate challenges, it eliminated confusion. My son, he is not a crisis to be managed. He is not a placement problem to solve. He is not a behavior plan to contain. But he is a life to build. And when families are given tools that honor voice, choice, and control, we do not just change outcomes, we change expectations. We change conversations. We change systems. A good life is not something we hope happens. A good life is something we design on purpose. Thank you.